Okay, today we're gonna look at a problem that they usually that we usually do in pre-calc and also in introduction to engineering. I remember my professor, he put me to do, he asked me to do to module this in Excel, the introduction to engineering. All right, so an astronaut on the moon throws a ball upward. The astronaut is 6 feet and 6 inches tall, and the initial velocity of the ball is 30 feet per second. The height of the ball is approximated by the function defined by s of t equal to -2.7 times square power of 2 plus 30t plus 6.5, right? Where t is the number of seconds after the ball was thrown, right? So we know that t equals time in seconds. All right, so that's t. And s, as you can see, if it's not second, s have to be high, right? So s equal high of f of s of t actually equal the height, right? All right, so the question number one is, after how many seconds is the ball 12 feet above the moon's surface, right? How many seconds will it take for the ball to return to the surface? All right, so if we take a line, right? If we do this, let's try to do something. If we try to draw, right, our thing. I'm not the best drawer, so don't judge me, please. So our guy is plus or minus, I'm gonna say 6, right? So this is right here, this is 6.5, right? It's a big guy, right? Okay, so he throws the ball, and remember, this is a parabola, this is a quadratic equation, right? I'm gonna draw something. This is not the actually graph, but I'm gonna draw something, right, for you guys, right? This is pretty much how the graph will looks like. I'm not saying this is the graph, this is how it will looks like, right? So here is the superface of the moon, which is x, and the height is y, right? So this right here is the superface, so the surface, I'm sorry. And here, this point is 0 for x, right? 0, actually for y is 0, which is the height, right? For x is something else, I don't know. And this is also representing t, which is time, and the y, which is s of t, is representing the height. All right, you understand, right? All right, so now let's do that algebraically. So we're gonna take s, and we're gonna say after after how many seconds is the ball 12 feet? So we're gonna say the height is 12, right? So f of t will become 12, right? So we're gonna say negative 0.2 t squared. Actually, I'm saying square is to the power of 2 plus 30 plus 6.5. And so I have a couple of options. I could say but I'm gonna go to do this by using the quadratic equation, right? So in order for me to use the quadratic equation, I have to put these sides equal to 0. So I'm gonna subtract 12 to both sides of the equation. So if I subtract 12, so I got all my stuff equal, right? So oops, it's going to be negative in this case. So 6.5 minus 12, so it's 5.5, negative 5.5, right? 12 minus 6.5, negative 5.5, that's correct. So if you don't remember, or if you don't know it, this is the quadratic equation. The quadratic equation says that negative b, actually quadratic formula, is plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all that divided by 2a, or 2 times a, however you want to do. So now I'm going to identify for you guys what is this value. So 2.7, negative 2.7 is going to be a. Positive 30 is going to be b. And negative 5.5 is going to be c. So now we're going to solve for x. So we're going to put negative 30 plus or minus 30 squared plus 4 times, I'm gonna make some room here, so this times c, which is negative 5.5. All of that is in the square root, right? Divided by 2 times negative 0.7, right? So I'm gonna solve the inside first. I always do that. So 30 times 30 is going to be 900. And this is going to be, let's solve for the signs first. So negative times negative is positive, and positive times negative is going to be negative, right? So 4 times 2.7 is 10.8 times 5.5 is going to be 59.4. All of that again divided by 2 times negative 2 times 2.7, right? So I'm gonna do 2 times 2.7 is going to be 5.4, but positive and negative is going to be negative, right? So 5.4. So now if we do the same thing here, we're gonna do 30 plus or minus, so what is 900 minus 59.4? I'm using my calculator, you can always use it to get these values. You will going to be allowed to use your calculator, so I hope so. You don't want to deal with those decimals, waste your time. Right, so negative 5.4 All right, so the square root of that is going to be 28.99. I'm gonna have two significant figures. So and keep in mind that because this is plus or minus the square root, you will have two answers, right? But I'm gonna explain you a little bit about it. So I'm gonna have 28.99. It's actually 993, but because I'm taking two significant figures only, actually four significant figures, and I'm gonna delete the 3. Okay, so I'm gonna stay like that. So negative 4.5. So all right. So after you get this, you're gonna have something that is going to be so let's read the question again. After how many seconds is the ball 12 feet above the moon? Right, so we're gonna have a 12 seconds somewhere in here. Actually, no, we're gonna have seconds when the ball reach 12 feet, right? So one of these value is not going to be right, so we're gonna go into the value that give us positive excess, okay? Because we are working in real time and real high, so we're not talking about past, you know, so we're doing present, right? So now we say that x1 equal to negative 30 plus, because we're using 1 plus, and 28.9, all that divided by 1. But that doesn't mean, because I'm using this plus here, that doesn't mean that all my values will be plus, okay? So I mean, will be positive, right? I can, you know, to make sure of that, I'm going to actually do the x2, which will be negative 30 minus 28.9, right? All of that divided by, you know, 5.4, and you know, you can see that you will get positive number here, right? So, and actually here too, right? So let's see. So we say that negative 30 plus 28.99 is going to be a negative 1.01, right? Divided by this, right? So you have 1.01 divided by 5.4. You're gonna have this equal. So I'm gonna write it down here. X1 equal to 0.18. So what this is saying, that at 0.18 seconds, my ball is going to be 12 feet, but I'm gonna solve for this one too. That's why I said that this is not because this is positive here, that doesn't mean that this is going to be the right answer, right? So we're gonna do this. We're gonna try to save some space here because we don't have a lot of space left. So we're gonna save minus 30 minus 28.99, and because there are similar negative signs, we're gonna add them. So we're gonna have negative 58.99. All of that divided by 5.4, negative 5.4. So our answer for this one is positive 10.92. So I'm gonna write it here that x2 equal to 10.92. So comparing our two values, which one do you think that is going to be our answer? Because think about it, our ball is going you know, at 30 feet per second. At 30 feet per second. Well, in this case, that's possible because, you know, let's say that, you know, this is right here, this right here, you know, this right here is 12 feet, right? And, you know, this point is going to be 1/8, right? Like seconds. This is x, right? Second, right? And over here, because we have the same point, 12, right? The same, actually here, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna do that again. You know, this also is going to be a this is 0.18, right? And this is also going to be 12, right? So, but in this time now, this is going to be, the time will be 10.92 seconds, right? So we will have the ball in 2 different times at 12 feet, because when it goes up, it's going to reach 12 feet at 1.8 seconds, and then when it's going down, when the ball is going down to the moon surface, is going to be at 10.92 seconds. So after how many seconds is the ball 12 feet above the moon's surface? So we're gonna say after 0.18 and 10.92 seconds. All right, so this is our first question. It's not easy. It's not easy. You can see all the stuff that we did just to get the first answer, right? And you know, it's just algebra. It's really algebra, really you know, substituting values and substituting you know, multiplying, square root, you know, adding, subtracting, dividing. So this is algebra and arithmetic, right? So, and the second question, I'm going to do it in another video, because this video is going too far, right? So